president of the Windsor Square-Hancock Park Historical Society, and we are venturing into doing oral histories for our website, which is windsorsquarehancockpark.com. And you will be able to check them out very soon. There's one with Jane Gilman, there's one with Fluff McLean, and then there's one with Mary Pickard, who's responsible for the HPOZ that was created in Windsor Square, which I was very active in. Today's date is November 17th, 2020. Tomorrow we are doing a Zoom presentation because of COVID. I know this is going to be on the website for a while. Because of COVID, we have not been able to do live functions like home tours and speaker presentations in homes. So we're doing Zoom presentations, and tomorrow we have a Zoom presentation with Patty Lombard and her book Larchmont Boulevard, which I'm very happy we've got like 50 people. So I'm going to introduce you now to Barbara Hardesty, who is a longtime member of the Historical Society, and I'm in her lovely home, which is on Lucerne here, and she bought it in 1969. And so I want to know, come on, tell us, Barbara, how much was it?
We paid $59,500 for it.
$59,500. Did you have to beat out anybody else to get it?
Actually, it was a fixer-upper.
Oh, yeah?
So we did have to put money in it.
God, okay. Oh, it's a lovely home, and you are one of
what we did, there was a bedroom, I guess it must have been a maid's room, the other side of the kitchen, and then a certain part of the kitchen was a service porch, and we had that put into the kitchen, and then turned the maid's room into a service porch, so that we have a washing machine and dryer and everything, extra refrigerator out there. So we did put quite a bit of money into it doing that.
Now Barbara was born and raised in Los Angeles.
Yes.
Tell us how that started.
I was born in the Hollywood Hospital.
Which was on
Vermont by Sunset, the old white wooden building next to Hollywood Presbyterian Hospital. And I was born in 1926. I'm 94 years old.
God bless her.
And I lived most of my life in the Los Angeles area, but 19 years of it was in the San Fernando Valley. We lived in North Hollywood.
But you said you when you were in your early years, your parents had a place on Maplewood and Gramercy around there?
We lived on Gramercy, and they owned a duplex. So they had a house and then a duplex next door to it. And I think it was 518 North Gramercy, I think was the address. I think.
A little income property there. Yes. It's a nice neighborhood. And you went to Van Ness
I went to Van Ness Avenue Elementary School. And then I went to LeConte Junior High. So I had to walk all the way because my mother didn't drive. My father had the only car in the family, which he took to work.
Yeah, that was a little hike, wasn't it?
Pardon me?
It was
quite a hike from Gramercy and Maplewood to LeConte Junior High, which was up between Santa Monica and Sunset. But back in those days, people didn't baby their kids.
Yeah, you got to walk. Yeah, we did too, as a matter of fact, in Philadelphia. So you went to LeConte, and then you went to high school at Fairfax.
Yeah, Fairfax High. I graduated from Fairfax. And
what year did you graduate?
When I was in the a senior at Fairfax, the girls' vice principal called me in, and she said, I noticed that you're not on track to be going to college. And she said, you should be going to college because your grades are in the top 10% of your class. And it was a very big class. And I told her that my father was from Australia, and he only went through the 2nd grade in school. And my mother was from Atlanta, Georgia, and she only went through the 10th grade in school, so they weren't pushing me to go to college.
Yeah.
So I applied, and when you read about the movie star and what she paid to get her kids into...
Yes, yeah, recently, yeah, sure.
So I paid my $29 student body fee, which paid for tuition and registration. I applied, they accepted me, and I only went for a year.
And what school? Which school is this?
It was UCLA.
Oh, all right.
I did live on campus at Hershey Hall for the year,
And
and then
UCLA at that time was located where? It
it's
wasn't where it
the
is
same
now.
place it is now.
Really now?
Uh-huh,
I thought
yeah.
it was.
It was originally
But that was
when it
before
was
that.
first founded.
Okay, I see. I see.
In
Okay.
1919, it was
Right.
somewhere in LA,
I
but
see.
no, it was in West LA for
And then you
many
didn't
years.
walk to UCLA from your house, I'm sure.
No, I lived on campus
Okay, there we go. Okay.
because I didn't drive.
Now, how did you get to Fairfax every day? You took the bus?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And that was on Melrose, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. That was
Yeah.
easy. So you went to UCLA, and then this is what you're like 45?
I graduated in winter 44 from Fairfax. And then, as I say, I went to UCLA for a year, and then I got married. And I was married for 62 and a half years.
To Jack
my
Hardesty.
husband died
To Jack.
12 years ago.
And what did Jack do?
Jack was a nobody when I married him. I met him, my brother met him on a transport plane. They were both hitching a ride to Los Angeles in 1944. And my brother was very smart in mathematics, and he was a navigator on a B-17. They didn't have computers in those days. And he had to use a sextant and guide by the stars how to go places. Yeah. And so he was coming home after picking up his crew in Hondo, Texas. And my husband, Jack, the man who became my husband, had joined the Navy when he was 17. He was from Big Spring, Texas, and nearly broke his mother's heart. He was the youngest of 4 children. And he was on Guadalcanal early in the war. Mm-hmm. And he came back from overseas and had his first visit with his family after coming home from overseas. So they both were on the plane, and my brother brought Jack home with him to have some cold fried chicken, potato salad, and beer. And Jack spent the weekend at our house. And then my brother went overseas, and on one of his first flights, he died. The plane was shot down over Magdeburg, Germany, September 28th, 1944. I'll never forget that. And the co-pilot survived the crash. He said my brother he saw him bending over the injured gunner, and he said some of the people that lived there, civilians, murdered my brother. Oh. So that was the worst thing that ever happened in our family. He was only 21.
Awful. Well, because of your brother, you met Jack.
That's how I met Jack.
And then
Jack went ahead and got out of the service because he'd served a long time. And he could have had a complete education through the GI Bill at USC. He went, I think, for a semester. He did not like going to college. And so he got a job as a grocery clerk at Bond's Grocery Company. And he was with them for 19 years. And he rose to the head of the grocery division. And had he stayed with the company, he would have been the president because the Bondres really liked him. But so we moved to Hillsborough, Northern California, and he was the head of one of the executives at a chain of stores up in
more groceries as well.
Grocery stores up there, and then we moved to Albuquerque, and it was the headquarters of Piggly Wiggly stores all over Hell and Gone in that area. And finally he said, I want to go back to LA. And so he was tired of the whole thing. And we bought our own market. was called Belden Market.
Oh,
We
that's
didn't
right.
name it Belden.
That's right. So he was destined to be he liked the grocery businth,
Yeah,
apparently.
yeah.
And so you guys
So we
opened
had
up,
owned Belden's for
and
15
Belden's was,
years.
let's tell them where it was.
It was on what is 6th Street at between St. Andrews and Gramercy. And we eventually bought the whole building, where there were 8 apartments upstairs and a liquor store and a cleaners. And
so you had income property upstairs, and then you had the very nice. And
yeah.
how long did you have Belden's for?
15 years.
And where did the name Belden come from?
It was named that when we bought it.
So you took it over. I see.
And that was when the Koreans were moving into the area, and Korean women loved to have their own businesses. And this Korean woman came in to the market one day and said to me, "Why don't you sell me your market?" I said, "My husband's over there. Go ask him." And he sold it to her. And so we kept the building for a long time, and then we sold it to the Episcopal Church that's there.
Oh, yeah, this in St. James.
Yeah.
Right.
And it ended up costing us $30,000 in taxes because of what we got out of it.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Well, that's those are good problems, though. You know. So your daughters were born then. The children were there
when we lived in the valley. They were born.
I see. Okay.
And
they went to the area schools here.
Yeah.
Where did they go to school here?
They when we lived in North Hollywood, they just went to local schools.
But I mean, did they go to Van Ness Elementary where you?
No. We lived in North Hollywood.
Oh, I see. And then after you moved from there,
Susan went to. Ended up going to San Jose State, graduated from San Jose State, because by then we were living in Hillsborough, and Carol became a nurse.
I see.
Carol worked.
So they didn't go to area schools here because they were.
No.
I see, but you had so in other words, when you lived in North Hollywood, you had Belden's.
No.
Here over here.
No, it's when we came back here.
Oh, I see. Okay, and then this house was purchased because you liked the area.
Yeah, because I'd grown up on Gramercy, and I thought I don't want to live in the valley anymore.
Yeah,
I want to live in the area general area where I used to live.
This is such a charming street.
And
then so you used to go to Larchmont all the time.
Yeah, we used to go to Larchmont. You know, there was a theater on Larchmont.
That's what I want to hear about.
Yeah,
because that was your first date.
My first date was with Billy Davenport, who became a writer for Bob Hope. But he was. I think we were both about 12, and he asked my mother if he could take me to the Larchmont Theater, but I'd have to bring my own dime.
Now let's tell everybody where the Larchmont Theater was. The Larchmont Theater was.
It was right
where Flywheel is now, and where Blockbuster was for all of us, and was a bank before that. It was Security Pacific. Yeah. So I wish that theater was there still, because I see these lovely pictures of it.
It was great. Nice.
So. And they had a popcorn concession and all that.
Sure.
Oh, sweet.
It was great.
That? God damn. So that must have been heartbreaking when that was torn down for everybody.
Well, by then I had
you were away.
Living somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. so tell me about Larchmont, because I hear that you had to get decked out to go to Larchmont in the 50s and the 60s.
It was a quiet little street.
Yeah.
I think I told you that my orthodontist was upstairs at the corner of Beverly and Larchmont.
It was above where Coldwell Banker is now, right? On the second floor there, yeah.
Dr. John Hopkins. And I must have driven my bicycle from my house there, or I walked, one of the two, because nobody drove me, nobody could. And
you remember all the stores, like Jurgensen's was a great store to go to.
Definitely, that was a very nice store. And Larchmont wasn't as popular then, of course, as it is now. I mean, everybody in the world wants to go there on Sunday.
Yes, right. Well, they have that farmer's market. Now they have it on Wednesdays, too. This is a new thing. They have it on Wednesdays now, in addition to Sundays. Well, because it's good in a way, because COVID has changed things so much for retailers. So it's nice that they want to get as many people on Larchmont as possible.
Uh-huh.
But all right. So then Jack, what happened after Belden's? Did he retire or?
we had 18 years because by then we joined the Wilshire Country Club.
Oh yes, right.
And Jack loved golf. I was the absolutely worst golfer there.
That's
and
how that's how I met you, because we were doing the gifts for we were fundraising gifts for the home tour, and you donated a luncheon at the Wilshire Country Club.
Was it a luncheon or a golf game?
No,
I think
it was
a
a
golf
luncheon.
game, wasn't it?
I don't know, but we'll take the golf game next time.
But anyway, well, I can't. I'm not a regular member. We sold our regular membership because the regular membership nowadays, I don't know what I can't. We only paid like $1,200 to join it.
No, it's much more expensive.
I saw an email, I don't know, 6 months ago or something. The last regular membership was sold for $80,000.
I heard, yes, I hear that it's up there. And also, I was when my ex-wife and I first moved to the neighborhood, we and a couple of other young couples got a membership at the LA Tennis Club, and it was very cheap. And so we went, and then now it's not as high as that, but it's getting up there.
Yeah. But anyway, I love the club, and it's my home away from home.
Nice.
Instead of having people over here to dinner, I take them over there.
Yeah, right. They can clean the dishes.
My last month's bill was $800.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Lord in heaven. So you raised these two daughters here, and then they live where do they live now?
Susan was the first one to move. She moved to
Mississippi.
Mississippi. No, Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Because her husband was a pilot, and that was their hub was in that area in Memphis, and this was a suburb of Memphis, and so she still lives there, and although he's retired now, and Carol was married before, and she ended up separating from her first husband, and she wanted to get away, so she took her two little girls with her and moved in with Susan for a while, and then got a divorce and bought her own house there. And then she eventually married a widower who was a wonderful guy. They'd been married for 20 years.
And you say the two sisters are just 15 minutes apart.
But they're not friendly with each other.
But you're going to be spending Thanksgiving with them next week, as a matter of fact,
I'm going to
right?
I usually stay with Carol when I go, and I'm going to be there for a month.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
So I'll be there from before Thanksgiving to the day after Christmas. I'm coming home.
Wonderful. So, are there any other things about the area, Windsor Square, Hancock Park, Larchmont Boulevard, that you'd like to share with us before we close?
Well, as I say, it was just a quiet little street. It was Larchmont.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything special, and I remember there was there a bus that came down? There was some kind of a turnaround.
Like a trolley.
It was a trolley and it had a turnaround up by Melrose.
Yes.
I remember that. And
I've seen old pictures of that.
As I say, they didn't have all those stores. I remember there was a bakery there.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was called.
Van de Kamp's? Was it a Van de Kamp's?
No, there was a Van de Kamp's on Western because I worked there.
Oh, okay.
I have a picture of myself in that Dutch girl.
Don't you wish that was still around? I would love to run into those Van de Kamp's and scarf down something.
Right.
But
there was a bakery on Larchmont. I can't remember what it was called, but anyway, it was and it sold dinners and stuff.
I picture maybe not in the 60s, but I picture women in the 50s going to Larchmont with white gloves on and having their chauffeurs take them there, is what I understand from some other people.
Well, I wasn't in that class.
You came just when times were changing in the area here. I want to thank you for taking all the time to spend with us, and this is the first of several. We're probably going to do these once a month. And thank you, by the way, Jolene Crofts is filming us and set up this whole thing. She's instrumental, and she's done this, and we're so happy to have her. I want to thank you for spending time with us and sharing your life with us and your life in Lucerne since 1969. And I want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Same to you.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.